June 6, 1944, D-Day, a day that will always be remembered as one of the major turning points in World War II. Seaman Second Class Lawrence Peter Berra was off the shores of Normandy that day, but that's not where this story begins. Yogi, as he would later become famously known, was training with his fellow sailors in preparation for the Day of Days.
They asked for volunteers to go on a rocket boat. I didn't even know what a rocket boat was. So we volunteered for the amphibs. We went to train Bainesville, Maryland. We went up there to train and everything. You ever tried shooting a machine gun on a 36-footer? You could shoot yourself. No, we had to train, like the boat we had a 36-footer. It was only 5 men and an officer in it.
Right.
And that was the worst thing. You gotta learn how to shoot a twin 50 and 330s off of there. When you're gonna get that boat go down, boy, you gotta be careful.
You got to know your shipmates very well. Small handful of guys. I know a lot of them didn't really know what you did for a living prior, right? You'd all kind of talk about, oh, I did this, I did that. Could they believe you were a ball player?
Oh, I don't know. I told them I wasn't, but didn't think much about it then. Just I played in Norfolk, Virginia. I played 1 year. That was it.
Right.
That's when I went into the service.
After months of training, the rocket boatman's time had come. The plan to attack the beaches at Normandy was a crucial offensive that would hopefully drive the Germans from France and eventually destroy the Nazi regime. In order for the months of planning to work, the Allied forces needed optimal conditions, meaning soldiers like Seaman Second Class Berra would have to wait. The attack was planned for June 5th, but it was called back due to poor weather conditions and choppy waters. June 6th became the day, and it had finally arrived.
We wondered when we were going to leave and everything, and we got over to Weymouth, Plymouth, England. We waited for the invasion. It was supposed to be on June 5th. We got called back, and because the weather was too rough. And then June 6th, they had to go through it, and the weather got a little better, but it was still rough. They had four of us, rocket boats, we call them.
Right.
There are four of us out there. They lower you down in a crane. And there's another time you got to be careful when you step it off so you make the boat hit the water. And, then we would circle and then we go in.
So that morning, you're put in the water. You head over to Omaha Beach to rendezvous, and then you end up going to Utah Beach. Now, do you remember the time when you were sitting out there just before? Was there a moment that you knew the war had begun? How did you get your orders to begin firing?
My side, where we landed, wasn't that much action as there was on the other side. They got to work where that cliff was and everything. They had that 88 up there on the mountain up there, and that was a good gun they had. If they got you in mind, boy, you're gone.
As D-Day is going on there, June 6th, it's the early morning hours. Do you remember looking around? I know you looked up at the sky and you saw the rockets and everything going off. Do you remember looking around you? Were there a lot of other boats around you? Did you see anybody else out on the water?
There was, because we had to protect them. There was the English boats, they fired 1,000 rockets. The English boat, they fired over our heads. Sometimes they fired a little short. Mm-hmm. and we got a little scared on that.
So when did you begin firing, and what were you thinking when you began firing these rockets at the beach?
Well, when we saw that we had the lead boat, they fired one rocket in. If it lands in there, then everyone throws the rockets in there. You could shoot one at a time, you could shoot two, or you shoot all 12 on each side.
So was there a point when you were shuttling messages back and forth that was your job sort of after the initial wave of D-Day and being out on the boat for 6 days?
Yeah, we were messages. Yeah, we did that. And,
where did you do that?
Both places, like southern France and Normandy.
Did you feel in danger at all then? Because if you're shuttling messages around the beach area there, you have to worry about mines and things like that, I would think.
Well, the only time we got a little worried when we made the southern France, when they had them rockets, they'd fly over, they could go into you. We were offshore to make the invasion of southern France. Then the only one you got a little scared because you had them rocket things there. I know we did run into a machine gun nest at a hotel on the beach. We ran into a machine gun nest in a hotel, and I was on the Twin 50. So I started shooting over there. I think I got a few of them running out of there.
When you think back now, do you, I don't want to say do you get scared now, but are you surprised? What emotions do you have about that day?
We did lose one of our men, though. He's the one that went on the shore and got killed.
How did that affect you when you heard that he wasn't coming back?
Affect everybody.
65 years after D-Day, Yogi realizes how fortunate he is to have lived such a full life as a baseball player and as an American. People know you having an impact in baseball because of your accomplishments, the record books, Cooperstown, everything. But you had an impact, you and your little team out on that LCSS, of helping shape what America is today and the freedoms that we enjoy. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm proud of it. Still alive to see it. Still alive to hear about it.
Obviously, D-Day was such a big part of what America is today. And at the time, nobody knew it, but it really propelled things to end up the way they were. What does it mean to you to know that you were a part of that?
Well, it means a lot to people that died there. I felt sorry for the paratroopers that landed in there. They went in before us over there. They caught hell over there, boy.
But you feel fortunate to have lived the life that you lived after D-Day?
Yeah, after D-Day, yes. We're very fortunate.